Okay, everyone. Today we are going to look at topic on airborne diseases. Let's see the introduction. Airborne disease is any disease that is characterized by pathogens that can be transmitted through the air over time and distance by small particles. The relevant pathogens may be viruses, bacteria, or fungi. They may be spread through breathing, talking, coughing, sneezing, raising of dust, spraying of liquids, toilet flushings, or any activities which generate aerosol particles, that is, suspended particles in air or droplets. Now I am going to discuss about some of the airborne diseases, treatment and control measures. First, we are going to discuss about COVID-19, which is a recent outbreak that was occurred as pandemic. Coronaviruses are zoonotic. This means they first develop in animals before developing in humans. For the virus to pass from animal to human, a person has to come in close contact with that animal that carries the infection. Once the virus develops in people, they spread from person to person through the respiratory droplets, that is, coughing, sneezing, talking, laughing, etc. The viral materials hang out in these droplets can be breathed into the respiratory tract and that leads to the infection. The 2019 coronavirus has not been definitely linked to a specific animal. Researchers believe that the virus may have passed from bats to other animals, either snakes or pangolins, and then it is transmitted to the human. The transmission likely occurred in the open food market of Wuhan, China. COVID-19, it affects different people in different ways. That means either small children or elderly people or immunocompromised weak persons or adults. Common symptoms are fever, tiredness, dry cough. Some people may experience aches, that is pains, nasal congestion, runny nose, sore throat, and diarrhea. It takes 5 to 6 days from someone to be detected in the virus for symptoms to show nearly 14 days. That is the incubation period. COVID 19 can be diagnosed similarly to other conditions caused by viral infections using blood, saliva, or tissue sample. Another important airborne disease is the common cold. The symptoms it take a day or few days to appear. The symptoms of cold rarely appear suddenly. There are many viruses that can cause cold, but it is usually a rhinovirus. The nasal symptoms include congestion, sinus pressure, runny nose, stuffy nose, loss of smell or taste, sneezing, watery nasal secretion, post-nasal drip or drainage in the back of the throat. The next important airborne disease is the chickenpox. Chickenpox, it is also called varicella, which is characterized by itchy red blisters that appears all over the body. An itchy rash is the common symptom of chickenpox. The infection will be in the body for around 7 to 21 days before the rash and other symptoms develop. The non-rash symptoms are fever, headache, and loss of appetite. Varicella zoster virus causes this chickenpox infection. Virus can spread through saliva, coughing, sneezing, and contact with the fluid from the blisters. Next important one is the mumps. Mumps, it is a contagious disease which can spread very easily from one person to another, which is caused by a virus that is passing through saliva, nasal secretions, and close personal contact. It affects the salivary glands, that is the parotid glands. And the symptoms of mumps is the swelling of the salivary glands. And the symptoms appear within 2 weeks of exposure to the virus. Flu-like symptoms may be the first to appear, such as fatigue, body ache, headache, loss of appetite, and fever. A high fever of 103 degree Fahrenheit and swelling of this salivary gland follow over the next few days and become painful periodically. The next one is the measles. Measles or rubiola. It is a viral infection that starts through the respiratory system. Symptoms appear within 10 to 12 days of exposure to the virus. The symptoms are cough, fever, runny nose, red eyes, sore throat, and white spots inside the mouth. Skin rash is the classical sign of this measles. The skin rash can last up to 7 days and generally it appears within 14 days of exposure to the virus. It commonly develops on the head and slowly spreads to other parts of the body. Measles is caused by a virus from Paramyxovirus family. Another important one is called whooping cough or pertussis. It is a childhood disease. It is a highly contagious respiratory tract infection which is caused by the bacterium called Bordetella pertussis. It is indicated by severe hacking cough followed by high-pitched intake of breath that sounds like woof. Before the vaccine was developed, this whooping cough is considered as a childhood disease. The incubation period is 7 to 10 days. They are usually mild at first and resemble to those of common cold such as runny nose, nasal congestion, red watery eyes, fever and cough. After a week, the mucus accumulates inside the airways causing uncontrollable coughing. Severe and prolonged coughing attacks may provoke vomiting, extreme fatigue which end with high-pitched woof sound during the next breath. The next important one is the influenza or flu. It is a common viral infection that can be deadly, especially in high risk groups. The flu attacks the lungs, nose, and throat. Young children, older adults, pregnant women, and people with chronic disease or weak immune system. Common symptoms are fever, chills, muscle aches, cough, congestion, runny nose, headaches, and fatigue. It is primarily treated with rest and fluid intake to allow the body to fight the infection on its own. The next one is the tuberculosis. Tuberculosis is a highly infectious disease that primarily affects the lungs. It is caused by the bacterium Mycobacterium tuberculosis. TB causes many symptoms such as coughing up blood or sputum. Common symptoms are unexplained fatigue, fever, night sweats, loss of appetite, and weight loss. TB usually affects the lungs. It also affects the organs such as kidney, spine, bone marrow, and brain. Symptoms will vary depending on which organ is affected. TB bacteria it is transmitted through the infected droplets which is present in the air. Once they are in the air, another nearby person can inhale them. The TB can be transmitted via sneezing, coughing, and speaking. Next important one is the diphtheria. Diphtheria is a serious bacterial infection that affects the mucous membrane of the throat and nose. It spreads easily from one person to another through air. The bacterium Corynebacterium diphtheriae, it causes this disease and it mainly spreads through sneezing, coughing or talking. Even the infected person doesn't show any signs or symptoms of diphtheria, they are still able to transmit the infection for 6 weeks after the initial infection. They may act as the carrier. The bacteria release dangerous substances called toxins. These toxins can spread through the bloodstream and often cause a thick grey coating to form in the nose, throat, tongue, and airway. These toxins can also damage other organs like heart, brain, kidneys, and it can lead to life-threatening complications. Next, we are going to discuss about the control measures. All these diseases can be controllable if you take the sufficient measures. For example, the airborne diseases, it needs plenty of rest and fluids. The COVID-19, this viral infection can be controlled using antiviral drugs, breathing support using ventilators, and the steroids can be used to reduce the lung swelling, and blood plasma transfusions can be made. Some airborne diseases such as chickenpox have no targeted treatment even though medications and other supportive care can be given to relieve from the symptoms. Flu or influenza that can be treated with the antiviral drugs. Treatment for infants with whooping cough can include antibiotics and hospitalization if often needed. And there are drugs to treat and cure tuberculosis. Although some strains are drug resistant, if you fail to complete the course of medication that leads to drug resistance and the symptoms may gain again. Even early diagnosis of diphtheria can be successfully treated with antitoxins and antibiotics. Next, we are going to see the preventive measures. We can avoid close contact with people who have active symptoms of disease. That means the persons who are having respiratory illness must be very careful by keeping away from them. We can stay at home when we are sick. We should not keep the vulnerable people to be in close contact with us. If we are around others, we have to wear a face mask to prevent the spreading or breathing of that is germs present in air. And we have to cover our mouth if we cough or sneeze. We have to use a tissue or elbow to cut down the possibility of transmitting germs on our hands. Wash your hands thoroughly for at least 20 seconds often, especially after coughing or sneezing. Then avoid touching your face or other people with unwashed hands. Thank you.